Alright, hello and welcome everybody. We're doing another cast here from Alchemy League Season 5. This is Age of Empires 2, and I am TechChariot, your humble host. We're gonna, as always, we're gonna look at two sets today. The first is gonna be Maxi Zek versus Metal Mania. And then the second one will be Hyder versus Mac Deck, aka Lore Deck. In terms of skill level, let's take a look at where these players are at. So in our first set, Maxi is coming in, calculated at around 1600. Metal Mania is being calculated at around 1567. This is 1v1 ranked ELO, or really this is technically tournament ELO, which is like an average, and it's got its own little formula and such. So upper 1500s, lower 1600s for the first set. And then the second set, Lore Deck is here at 1621, and Hyder is up here at 1746. So a little bit steeper of a skill difference between those two players in our second set. Of course, many of you are familiar with Hyder. I cast him frequently. I cast him frequently because he is helping with other casting in the league, and he refuses to cast himself because it's awkward, and I think he should still be represented, so I cast him instead. Let's go back to the drafts real quick. So the first map is the map of the round, and then they take turns discarding maps, and then the draft will pick one of the two remaining maps at random for them to play. And it could have been, let's see, Singularity, Comet, Mars. Oh, okay. So it looks like it could have been Saturn, but it picked Jupiter instead for these guys, just as an example. I always try to do this where we get to see a different map from in each game, and a different player as well. So we'll be looking at Asteroid Belt, Jupiter, Saturn, and Cataclysm tonight. Those are the four. It's space themed, in case you didn't notice from the slideshow and the music and the maps. Alchemy League Season 5 is themed off of space. Alright, so what else do I want to talk about? Well, I can show the civilization drafts here for Maxi, and I'll go in and I'll show it for Hyder and Mac Deck as well, aka Lore Deck. So basically how it works is the draft will randomly ban 5 civilizations at the start, and then they'll globally ban 2 civilizations each, and then I think they get 2 picks, and then a snipe, and then 2 more picks. And Maxi ending up with Vietnamese, Malians, and Koreans, and Metal Mania ending up with Lithuanians, Georgians, and Japanese. And of course, the civilization draft is done after the map draft, so they're choosing civilizations that they think would be good for the maps that they have to play. Play L2, of course. So, with all of that being explained, let's go in and check out the game now. Zoom in with the overlay, and we'll go. Alright, so we're going to switch off the Fog of War here. So the first map is Asteroid Belt. It's basically kind of a weird map in a way. You start out with a couple of small wood lines on a smaller asteroid here. It actually, okay, they each get 2 wood lines apiece in this particular generation. The asteroids are represented by these elevated rocky terrains. There's not a lot on them. It's actually more gold and stone on these asteroids than trees. There are some mangrove trees here in the spacey part of the belt. A lot of these space maps have water to represent space. You know, it's kind of an analog for ships, right? But instead of, you know, it's the Middle Ages, so you can't exactly have spaceships. So our closest analog is real-life ships, and of course we got all these shipwrecks in an asteroid belt, because asteroid belts are dangerous for spaceships to navigate. But then, most importantly, is you got this big planet over here. It's generally has bigger wood lines, although it is somewhat random how those wood lines are arranged, and it's got a little bit of extra space. This is where you can go to get away from ships. Are ships overpowered on this map? Well, probably eventually late term, but not early on. You know, there might be a couple of deep fish here, but other than that, there's only the occasional shorefish here and there. So some people like to dock. Other people don't like to dock just because there's not enough fish to really justify it. We've got Maxi has already come over here, and he is laming Metal Mania. He's walling this villager in, and then he's going to shoot the boar, and he's going to shoot it until he kills it. Metal Mania. Well, there's another boar over here, so I'm not really sure exactly what happened. Maybe Metal Mania lamed Maxi as well, as Maxi's bringing in his boar. It looks like everybody gets 3 boars on this map. Okay. So, Metal Mania's 3rd boar is right here, and we are already off to some action. Metal Mania trying to get in on this villager. Uh-oh. He does succeed. Maxi has to delete the wall and leave. Oh no, Maxi. Oh, and the Photon Man kills the boar, effectively removing it. Completely laming all of its resources. Oh, Metal Mania can't be very excited about that. So Maxi's plan all along was to weaken the boar by shooting it with the villager and then killing it with the Photon Man. The Photon Man has 1 additional armor, so he actually can fight boars more effectively, and unlike Scout Cavalry and Eagles, the Photon Man, which is their unique scout, does not take... Oh, well, we'll take this pig. Does not take bonus damage from boars. Hey, Cookie Pirate, welcome. Thank you for being here. You see, boars normally deal damage to scout-type units to discourage laming, but these aren't scout-type units. I mean, they're intended to be used as scouts, don't get me wrong, but all that this Photon Man is a reskinned Joan of Arc. So, as far as the game is concerned, this is sorry, not Joan of Arc, Joan the Maid. So as far as the game is concerned, this is Joan the Maid, the hero, and therefore Joan the Maid was not intended to take bonus damage from boars, and therefore doesn't. So this scout unit will not either. So now Metal Mania is going to have to change his plan around. So Maxi picking the Vietnamese very smartly. He wanted to know exactly where his opponent was, and Vietnamese told him. Now, I think that it's a little bit more predictable where your opponent's going to be on this map, but it's... Hey, yeah, you finally made it. That's awesome. It's a little bit more predictable where your opponent's going to be on this map because it's asteroid belt, and you know, you got to have the planet here, and you got to be fairly spaced to the planet, so you can kind of guess, you know, you're not going to end up here while your opponent ends up down here. You know that your opponent's going to have the same radial distance to this top corner of the map, and you know that your opponent is going to be approximately the same distance from the center of the map because that's what our alchemy specs require. So you have a pretty good idea, but nevertheless, you know, to be able to see it exactly where it is. Maxi's also fishing, too, which is an interesting choice as the Vietnamese. So Metal Mania, I'm surprised we haven't seen Metal Mania throw down some farms. I'm not really sure what he's going to do. I mean, he is on his way up to the Feudal Age, so there's a win, but he's not really going to have a lot of resources as soon as he gets up there. He manages to find a pig. I don't think he stole the pig. And maybe he's going to come up here to the island and look around. Let's take a look and see what Metal Mania knows. Yeah, he doesn't know much of the main plan, actually. He's coming over here now to try to find his opponent. Maybe he could push in some ostriches for food. But Metal Mania did not do the Lithuanian... Oh, you know what it is? It's just because he's Lithuanian, it starts with extra food. That's how he was able to get up to the Feudal Age. So he doesn't have the food to go anything except archers. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to go archers. Asteroids and yes, Vietnamese. So Metal Mania is going to go archers because he doesn't really have food to do anything else. He doesn't have food for man-at-arms. He doesn't have food for scouts. So he's going Lithuanian archers instead. But if that is the case, then he needs to get onto this gold. But I think the plan is maybe to just make a few archers. No, he's making skirmishers. That is a very strange choice. I don't really understand that choice at all. He might be expecting Maxi to go archers himself, but Maxi is not up to Feudal Age yet. Maxi here pushing in an ostrich for some extra food. Let's take a look at and see what Maxi's resources are at. So it doesn't look like Maxi has the resources to fast castle either, even with this ostrich in and this other ostrich pushed in. So I think we're going to see some extended feudal play from these guys. Metal Mania completely out of food underneath his town center. What's the plan? It's going to send them all onto berries? No. It's going to send them on to stragglers, but that's not going to last him for very long. Looks like he's made a few counter units. And I think he's afraid of being attacked, but I don't think Maxi really has much yet. You know, he's just getting started here. Oh my goodness. No, Maxi, no! Oh my goodness. Metal Mania forcing down a tower from Maxi McCheck with a single skirmisher, you guys. That is one powerful skirmisher right there. I've never seen anybody react to a skirmisher by building a tower. That's pretty impressive. I don't know what it was that Metal Mania did with that skirmisher to scare Maxi into building a tower with 125 stone and 50 wood, but this skirmisher right here, this paid off big time, forcing Maxi to build this tower on his gold. So the skirmishers are going to come around here now, and they're going to threaten the wood line. And if Maxi responds the same way that he responded over here with the gold, we'll probably see a mass relocation of villagers, maybe back here or something. Actually, there's a pig back here, so this makes me think that Maxi doesn't know about this wood line. Let's take a look and see what Maxi does. Actually, he does know about the wood line, but he doesn't know about the... He does not know about the pig. So these villagers are going to get back to work. Maybe we got one villager that's going to attack the skirmishers. He's got some fire ships here for defense, but ships can't really go everywhere. It's kind of awkward. Looks like Metal Mania has built himself a fire ship as well. So Metal Mania just made a few counter units, and now he's made a dock, and now he's thrown down the Ring of Farms. I feel that this Ring of Farms is quite late. I think that these farms should have come down the moment that he knew that he lost his boar. But perhaps he felt like the farms would slow down his feudal age time. Although the resources that he needed to go feudal were not really contingent upon that boar, as we saw, because he was up to feudal first. He used the extra Lithuanian food. So Maxi is housed now. Metal Mania distracting him. Maxi's got to rush down this house here to make sure that his town center is able to continue working. Actually, he has rushed down a house. He rushed down 2. And he's garrisoned his Photon Man inside the town center to heal it up. So these 3 skirmishers managed to force Maxi to build another lumber camp and take from this lumber camp instead. He refuses to fight skirmishers with villagers. I think Maxi doesn't realize that skirmishers are very weak. Especially, I think, these skirmishers. Do they have fletching yet? No, they don't even have fletching. So these skirmishers are dealing 2 damage per hit. Now with fletching they would deal 3. So they would deal 50% more, but 2 damage per hit is pretty pathetic. Single villager. You figure a single villager's got 40 HP and 2 pierce armor. So actually, with or without fletching, it doesn't really matter. The skirmishers deal 1 damage per hit to a villager. So it's pretty pathetic. The strength of this unit is contingent upon their bonus damage. That's what they need. Now, you know, you got 3 skirmishers here, and targeting any one villager, and all the lances hit. Eventually, you can deal up damage. It will accumulate, and Maxi's got to pull this villager back. And I think this villager will escape. Oh no, he does not escape. Spearman managed to kill him. Spearman's got a little bit more punch to it. So we take a look at this Spearman. He's got 3 attack, and that doesn't look much better than 2 attack. You know, especially when 2 attack is upgraded with fletching. But remember that villagers only have 1 melee armor. So 3 attack is actually dealing 2 damage per hit after you subtract out the melee armor. So it's actually twice as much damage per hit. I know, all these tiny numbers, it doesn't really look like it, but that's why armor matters so much in Age of Empires. And Metal Mania with just way better control of this game. Maxi, you can tell that Maxi is not used to being on the defensive, but Metal Mania wants to play aggressively because he was lamed. Maxi seems to have this desire to double dock here, but I'm not really convinced that this will give him value. I don't really understand the double dock. I think he'd be better off making archers of his own, and or skirmishers of his own. Because he's just got these villagers here that he's struggling to defend, and he's, you know, so what? You know, let Metal Mania have this area. Who cares? He's not making galleys yet. You know, just keep him off of your resources. Now, it doesn't look like either player has ventured up to the main planet yet. That is a little bit unfortunate. I think maybe Maxi could benefit from going up there, and he's building another tower to secure this wood line, to make it so that his opponent can't pressure him in this location. Photon Man mostly healed up, too. Yeah, he can't take this stone anymore because these skirmishers are on its villager here. So, note to self, Maxi does not like being trash rushed. Okay, he's got his skirmishers coming now, and he's going to chase this off of the stone, but a lot of damage has been done. Let's see the villager count here. Alright, so villagers are 39 for Metal Mania and 32 for Maxi McCheck. And Metal Mania has almost twice the military as well. So the lame is not paying off here. Metal Mania taking it very aggressive and catching Maxi off guard. Kill to deaths are similar. Metal Mania with slightly more kills. I think it's largely that Maxi's being housed, or he's having idle time, that he's distracted by all of this pressure. And he's not making villagers the way that he should be. And that's probably a big reason for the discrepancy. I mean, it's probably the reason for most of the discrepancy. The other thing, too, is that these are kills to deaths. They're not eco-kills to deaths. So for all we know, you know, Metal Mania has killed 10 villagers and Maxi's killed 11 military units. So it's really hard to say just from looking at that. So big sprawling farm empire here from Metal Mania. Let's check and see what his resources are like. I think he could probably click up pretty soon. He does have the resources to click up. And he has the buildings. He's got an archery range and a blacksmith, and he clicks up. So if he gets to Castle Age first, which he definitely will, because his opponent is not Vietnamese, and his opponent is not researching Castle Age. So if he gets up first, Maxi, I don't know what Maxi will do. He might resign, or he might try to sell all of his resources and click up quickly. Let's go back to Maxi and see. Actually, Maxi's on his way up too, and we can see that up here. So Maxi will not resign because he's not that far behind going up to Castle Age. And I'm wondering what his plan is at this juncture. He seems to want to go galleys. He's repairing his dock. He's got a tower here to provide fire support for his galleys. It seems like players both think that going galleys at this stage is the worthwhile play. They can't really reach very deep in here, although they can pressure some things on the edge of this big planet. If I were to go through and redo this this map, actually, I think what I would most like to see different is I would randomize the border of the planet. Maybe have different variations where sometimes the planet is bigger and sometimes it's smaller. I don't know about smaller, maybe a little bit bigger sometimes. I've already got randomness to the positioning of these asteroids here, radial distances and such. So, but I think it could, you know, it could probably have gotten away with a random planet size, and the other thing too is the planet is always temperate. It could have been cool to have different biomes for the planet, similar to the upgrades that were made to Cataclysm, which may or may not be seen later on in this cast. Alright, so both players are now Castle Age. Metal Mania is probably getting the War Galley upgrade now, that's why he's not engaging. Yeah, he's getting the War Galley upgrade right now. And once it comes in, he'll probably launch an all-out attack. Now, Maxi is trying to use this opportunity to sneak some villagers off to the mainland. Is he going to get there in time? So we see that Metal Mania is following him. Metal Mania knows he's ignoring this unit from Maxi that's trying to attack. And he wants to micro down some villagers. And these villagers are running the gauntlet here. Some war galleys. And I think that Maxi is going to get over here, but he's going to lose a lot of villagers doing it. And, this is not a good town center location. If he's going to build this town center, he needs to be on the other side. And he's got 4 villagers over there, so about half of his villagers died working their way over here. And he doesn't really have a lot of space to build either. Although, you know, he could still take wood safely. Doesn't have to worry about being pressured by enemy galleys. He might need to build a tower or something to get these galleys off of him. but he will have this town center. So that is a win for Maxi. Although the cost of it, again, is not really a win. So what's Maxi's plan? Let's see if we can determine that. He's getting the Elite Skirmisher upgrade, even though I don't think he has any skirmishers right now. Now, Metalmania has built a town center on the mainland as well. Maxi's got a scout here to keep an eye on him. Metalmania's situation is a little bit more favorable. He's got a little bit more room to expand out here, whereas Maxi's situation is a little bit cozier. And it seems that this town center is being taken down by war galleys. Maxi would have to get a university and maybe some university upgrades, or at least he'd need to effect repairs on this town center to keep it standing. But he's definitely not in the best spot. But I think that this game was won for Metalmania in the feudal age. And Maxi calling the GG, realizing he's kind of trapped, he can't do anything. So Maxi with the lame, but maybe getting a little bit too cozy after that. Metalmania being vicious in the feudal age and doing a lot of damage to Maxi. Let's take a look at the statistics. So Metalmania with 33 kills and 22 deaths, and those statistics are reversed for Maxi. Largest army of 23. Maxi collecting more stone, Metalmania collecting more food and wood. Sorry, that's gold that Maxi collected more of. Metalmania advanced faster than Maxi did, which was interesting because Maxi, again, stole a boar, so you would think that he'd be able to get up to the feudal age faster. Metalmania with a much larger villager high, and of course we see the domination in the timeline. Let's take a look at Game 2 now. Game 2 is on Jupiter. So we've got Metalmania playing as the Gray Georgians, and Maxi McCheck playing as the Blue Koreans. Maxi loves the Koreans. They are excellent at tower rushing. And here he comes again. We've got all the Stormy Dogs fanning off to do their business. This is an aggressive version of Jupiter with the hills in between these stripes of forest here. Because Jupiter is the striped planet. We've got the Great Red Spot here. And Maxi is sending a villager forward as the Koreans. Looks like he's gotten loom immediately. Here's a mule cart. Now, what would be really cheeky is if Maxi could wall this mule cart away from the town center, but I don't think he can. So instead, the Photon Man is just going to attack the mule cart and do a little damage. And in the meantime, Maxi's going to look for that boar. You only get one boar. Now, Metalmania knows this, and Metalmania is going to come over here and he's going to take his boar in. So, Maxi not going to steal this boar, unfortunately, for Maxi. Because Metalmania is wise to him and knows that Maxi is a lamer. Metalmania has found these pigs, but Maxi might be able to intercept them. Yes, Maxi steals the pigs, and he builds a palisade wall on the gold to keep an eye on that gold. And he'll probably palisade wall this... No, he's just going to kill the pig. What? Why is he killing the pig? Oh, he's killing the pig, I think, because he didn't think that he could get it home. I don't really understand that. Why not just send the pig home? And he kills that other pig, too. So, he's got these pigs. I don't know if Metalmania... Yeah, Metalmania can see these dead pigs on the minimap. So, I don't know if that tells... If he's doing that to tell Metalmania where the villager is at the time. Or what the strategy is with that. But anyway, those pigs are going to be there and they're going to rot. And so that's food that Metalmania is not going to get. And on this map, actually, food is a little bit tough. The food is not very plentiful on this map. Now, it's more plentiful on this version, because this version has a couple of deep fish here. And it also has some shorefish as well. So Maxi coming down this way as well. And I don't really know what the plan is. Maybe he... Let's see if Maxi saw those zebras and he's going to lame them. Maybe that's what he's doing. Nope. He's just engaging in scout fight. So Maxi, no need to palisade wall this gold here, because he knows that Metal Mania is going to have to take gold somewhere. So if Metal Mania does not take gold up here, he'll just assume that it's being taken here instead. So now, what have we got? We got a villager. Oh, no. No loom for Metal Mania. Oh, that is a disaster. That villager goes down quickly. Metal Mania forgetting to get loom and sends this lady to her death. That's pretty frustrating. So now Maxi is gonna micro against this scout. He's probably gonna... He's got the hit point advantage on the scouts. Has Metal Mania gotten loom yet? Yes, he has. So Metal Mania has gotten loom, and now he's sending another villager. But Maxi is wise to it, and Maxi is leaving. Oh, he wants to kill the scout, though. And he gets it. He does get the scout. So it's amazing, just, you know, like one villager, the amount of disruption that it can cause. But that's what Maxi specializes in. So let's take a look at Metal Mania's resources and see where he's at. Looks like Metal Mania is out of food. He is heavily on berries here. He's going to go over to wood. And it looks like he's building a mill on this shorefish. Now, has Metal Mania scouted the deep fish? Does he know? No, he does not. So Metal Mania is less familiar with this map. And he does not know that in versions of this map that have the deep water here, there is always one deep fish on each side. If he knew that, he would build a single dock instead of 2 mills, I feel. So he's going to take the shorefish instead. And I think that Metal Mania also doesn't know about these zebras, because if he did, maybe he would go out and mill the zebras, but he isn't. So he hasn't explored the zebras, he doesn't know about them. And he's going to start a house wall here. Georgians, of course, start with this free mule cart. So, at least that's helping Metal Mania out in the sense that he doesn't have to build a lumber camp. Maxi upset about something. What is it? Oh, Maxi has deleted his town center. Yikes. Maxi was ahead, too. What? What happened? I don't really understand that. Maxi accidentally deleting his town center. He must be just so used to it, but he didn't have the wood to build a new town center. I can see why Maxi likes building new town centers so much. And you know, the irony, too, is that a town center drop would actually work really well on this map. Imagine if Maxi had come over here with his villager, and in addition to building this palisade over here and killing these pigs, he came over here and he just like made sure that he put a couple palisades down where there was enough space to build a town center. And then he built his town center right here. You know, where does his opponent build a town center? Here? Maybe if he can fit it. Here? Maybe. But otherwise, like, most of this wood is pretty forward, right? Pretty easy to challenge. And not a lot of flat area with which to build your own town center. So that is very unfortunate that Maxi... Because Maxi had the score lead even after deleting his town center. So he was doing well. He had a chance to really harm Metal Mania. Let's see what Metal Mania's resources look like. Yeah, Metal Mania didn't really know the map. I don't think they... I mean, he was slowly getting food, but he's like building all of these mills along the shoreline. So, a pretty quick game here, unfortunately. Would have been interesting to see how it played out. But Metal Mania, of course, not going to give a restart for that. There's nothing in the rules that would require him to give a restart. And Maxi's been bullying him all last game and this game. So, with that, we'll just move on to the next set. Look at that Maxi with 20 military score. Killing 2 units and losing none of his own. Killing Metal Mania's scout and an unloomed villager. Much better map exploration. Yeah, this was Maxi's game. Just deleted the town center by accident. So now we're going to watch Hyder versus Lordek. And before we get into their game, we'll uncheck the fog of war here. Okay. Let's go back. Let's change the overlay real quick. And we'll just look at their... The maps that we're going to look at from these two are going to be Saturn and Cataclysm, and their civilization drafts are thus: that Hyder has the options of Saracens, Georgians, and Malyans, and Makdek has the option of Mongols, Hindustanis, and Romans. So having reviewed their civilization draft, now we're going to see what they're using here. So it looks like they're using Saracens and Hindustanis on Saturn. Saturn is kind of our version of Enclosed, with a little bit of a twist. So, let the games begin. So Makdek is playing as the red Hindustanis. I don't understand Hindustanis here, and I don't really understand Saracens here either. Maybe the strategy for Saracens could be like an all-in archer rush. I mean, the gold is forward. That's one of the features about Enclosed, is your gold is pretty much always going to be forward. There are fishing opportunities in the corners. You can slip through here, but you can also wall it off with a dock. So it's a little bit like a combination of 4 lakes and Enclosed, all in one map, which I think makes it pretty cool. So we'll see. We'll see. It depends on who goes out to dock. Maybe Makdek is looking at this map and he's thinking, you know, I think that Hindustanis would be really good here because there's a lot of open space. I'm not too far from my opponent. You know, I can just go wherever, ravage his economy. Let's actually go and look at Makdek's build in a little bit more detail. And it's too early to tell really what he's up to. He's got 6 on food. Let's take a look at their civ bonuses here. I've highlighted them. See if we can understand a reason for why they would be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any civ bonuses that really speak to this map. I don't get it. You know, Saracens I kind of understand. You know, you want to get out ahead and maybe archer rush and just keep your opponent off of gold and deny gold eternally. And then they've got the galley attack rate too, which could come in handy. But Hindustanis, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe if Hyder or Makdek are in the chat, they can explain. But we'll just have to watch. Now, I will say this. I see 4 on wood here, and this is telling me that Makdek is not planning on going scouts. So he might be planning on making a dock, and that's why he's got 4 on wood. Or he could be planning a fast castle. Either way, Makdek needs to get another house up, otherwise he's going to be housed. So this next villager coming out is probably going to build a house. If it doesn't, then he's in trouble. Oh no, he's focused on getting this food underneath his town center. He doesn't notice he's going to be housed here. He's got elephants running around, and he brings in... It's a little bit rough of a build order. I would say... I expect that Hyder probably knows this map better than he does. Yeah, he's about to get housed. So he is planning on docking. He sees that he's about to be housed, and he queues up Loom. So he's getting Loom. And, you know, it actually may not have necessarily been a mistake, because this is kind of a dangerous dock here. You know, you never know where your opponent's scout is going to be. And yeah, this is 5 villagers, so he's planning on making a dock with at least some fishing ships. But the good news about this is that because the villager is going out, and it's kind of on his own, vulnerable, he has Loom now. So it's going to be much harder for Hyder to snipe this villager. And we can see that's kind of what's happening over here. They're fighting each other, but Hyder seems to have gotten the advantage in this scout fight somehow. Makdek having to withdraw. Hyder nearly sniping this villager too. Or sorry, Makdek nearly sniping this villager, but Hyder was there just in time to prevent it. So this is why getting Loom could be a good idea, because it's much harder to kill this villager if it has Loom when it goes out to build its dock. So both players have chosen to dock. They're at 17 and 18 villagers respectively. Makdek is a villager behind Hyder because he has Loom, which makes sense. They're both really good players. I mean, like I said, mid 1600s to mid 1700s easily between these two guys. So let's see. Hyder no longer on boars at all. He's coming out here and he's going to take some box turtles. He has some goats that he's saving, and he has a couple of fishing ships. Let's check his resources, because I have a feeling Hyder might be clicking up soon. Yeah, he's at 481 food. His fishing ship has just dropped off some food. He's got one more villager queued up. And I think he wants to click up as soon as possible. 22, 23 pop. Something. Maybe archers. Maybe he's going to go ships. I mean, we don't know. Let's take a look at the Fog of War and see what he knows. He does not know about his opponent's dock down here at all. Could probably assume that it exists. But he hasn't scouted it. So he's not thinking about it necessarily. Whereas we would know that if he scouted it, he would at least be kind of considering some aggression. MacDeck coming over here to get the jump on this Photon Man. Hyder notices it and has to run away. And now I love this. MacDeck is repairing this house. At least a little bit. Doesn't want the house going down without his knowledge. And MacDeck is on his way up to the feudal age as well. And he is going on to gold with 3 villagers. So he is probably going to be going archers. Let's take a look at MacDeck's point of view. MacDeck, of course, knows about Hyder's dock because he tried to deny it. And very nearly succeeded as well. So these villagers could be, and now Hyder coming down here and being annoying with this house. So these villagers on this gold, these could be villagers to supply ships, or they could be villagers to supply archery ranges. And I think that they're villagers to supply ships. And here's why I think that. Because he's building a second dock out here. It's not really in a great fishing location, but it will help him make warships more frequently. And so MacDeck has picked a fight with this scout here, gotten a first hit on it, and now he's trying to lure Hyder back, hoping that Hyder is not paying attention as this scout runs home. Hyder catches it, though, and decides not to run anywhere near that town center. And MacDeck is afraid of ships coming in this ring and disrupting his gold mining, so he's gonna wall right across these mangrove shallows here. Or actually, I think these are just shallows. I don't think these are mangrove shallows, because you can do that on this map. You can build walls across this. So galleys. So MacDeck is going galleys, and Hyder will probably do something very similar. Yeah, 2 docks. And we see galleys are already on the way. So these guys are going almost like a mirror build of each other, but one is playing as Saracens and the other is playing as Hindustani. MacDeck with a little bit more in galley numbers here. Hyder is not going to want to fight this. He's not as far ahead as he might think. So outnumbered 2-1, Hyder should get out of here. Yeah, so mirror galleys for a while. I think that you could just like dock block this. I think that's sufficient. Although the players don't really seem interested. Maybe Saturn should be a little bit larger so that you can dock block this, or maybe so that you can build your gate out here or something. Maybe enable the construction of sea gates. I don't know. Would hate for this to be the meta. I don't know that it is, but it was never really intended to be. Or maybe this map would be improved if these dolphins were actually just oysters instead. So that the outside of the map, you know, was relevant, but it wasn't relevant until later, because you don't need... In Feudal Age, you need food more than you need gold, because food will help you get up to the Castle Age. So it looks like Hyder has healed up his Photon Man a little bit. Or this is MacDeck, sorry. And MacDeck is going to build a market. And so maybe MacDeck wants to go up to the next stage. You build a market generally to correct your economy. And it does seem that he's slowly accumulating the resources necessary to go Castle Age. He's being careful, I think, not to overinvest in the ships. Hyder's starting to outmass in ship count. Okay, market gonna go up. And he's throwing some farms too, and he's also refreshing his lumber camp. These are reeds, and they only have 50 wood in them apiece. So it's easier to exhaust these reeds and chop a path to your opponent on this map. And yeah, sure thing. Actually, this is Hyder who's on his way up to the Castle Age. Well, MacDeck better get up himself. Yeah, so actually it's MacDeck who's investing more into the Feudal Age. Hyder going Castle Age. Using the Saracen market, that's probably what it is. Did Hyder sell his stone to do so? He did. That explains it. So Hyder taking advantage of the Saracens with the market. Very similar builds, but Hyder has a better civilization. But I think MacDeck has invested more in ships. Let's see, Hyder has 8, and MacDeck has 8. Maybe MacDeck has gotten more upgrades for the ships. Let's take a look. So he has fletching. Hyder has fletching as well. So Hyder just a little bit better Saracen eco, maybe some market abuse to get up to Castle Age. So MacDeck is going to be pretty alarmed by that, especially since he's still happily making ships and he hasn't even clicked yet. I think that this faster Castle Age time is going to take him by surprise. I don't even think he's going to click up before Hyder gets Castle Age. So maybe as soon as Hyder gets Castle Age. Looks like MacDeck does want to build a wall here. He wants to dock block this. He's got a dock foundation in place. This, of course, is not a very productive dock in terms of collecting fish. But yeah, GDR Hyder is advanced to the Castle Age, and MacDeck now clicking up himself. So he's gonna try to hang on for the next few minutes because it'll be a little bit rough. This dock block will help him. Actually, he's dock blocked this side too. No wait, Hyder has dock blocked this side, and MacDeck killed the villager that built that dock. So that is kind of an interesting choice. Hyder getting the War Galley upgrade, but he's not really going to be able to use it because these ships are trapped. I guess he'd have to delete this dock and come around the long way, or he'd have to power his way through this dock here, which is potentially possible, but MacDeck could also build another one back here. So MacDeck could really stonewall him for some time. MacDeck losing all of his galleys, he's going to have to come up with something different. I don't think he'll make more galleys. I think he'll technology switch. I think he has to. Just feels really bad to keep making galleys even after you've lost your initial mass of them. And this dock is going down quickly, and I think he needs to build another one if he wants to keep his fish alive. Maybe he's not planning on keeping his fish alive. There's only 4 of them. Maybe he can send them around and then build another dock over here or something. I don't know. But Hyder quickly tearing down this dock. Cookie Pirate says, I'm surprised water play is as much as it is. I wish I could say that I were surprised, but water is just very powerful in Age of Empires. It's just so good. If you choose not to go water, and your opponent can and does, then you're in trouble. So MacDeck adding another town center here. Hyder has added another town center, and he's used this town center to drive MacDeck off of this wood. So MacDeck is going to build his town center here. MacDeck and Hyder, they seem to be doing all the same things. Just Hyder's doing it slightly faster. Maybe due to a skill advantage, maybe due to a civilization advantage. Probably a little bit of a combination of both. And yeah, MacDeck is just going to try to drop off the last of this food, and then the fishing ships are going to go down. So he is surrendering water. He's actually building, he's got space to build another town center here. You're a bit surprised? What surprises me is that they're not docking these rings. Some people thought that these rings would be what got docked, and then you have ships coming up all through your base. Hyder adding a 3rd town center back here on the perimeter. It makes sense. It's a safer area. He knows he controls water, so MacDeck wouldn't do that because there's all kinds of galleys out here, but he would add his town center here. Now Hyder's built a monastery. What's the plan? MacDeck is building a manga now. So MacDeck is going to siege Hyder. Where? Aha, here. Alright, so this is kind of where the action is. I think that this is a little bit silly of an angle to attack from. I think a tower would work better here, because even if MacDeck manages to tear down this town center, he can't get through here unless he chops this wood himself, and that could take some time. No, this is navigable terrain. However, it is fully wallable like this. MacDeck adding another town center on the stone. Hyder has a monk here, and he's getting redemption. So Hyder intends to combat these mangonels with redemption monks. He's got a mangonel of his own to buy himself some time. He engages in a mangonel duel, and he manages to get one mangonel, and he's looking to get the other, but MacDeck is paying attention too much at this point, and he can't get the other, at least not right now. But redemption is in for Hyder. He will need sanctity as well, otherwise the monk will not be able to take a direct hit from the mangonel. So the mangonel, what you do in this case is you pull the mangonel back, the monk moves forward and follows, and then the mangonel can return a few tiles and move a couple tiles forward again, and then fire the rocks at the monk and kill it in one shot. So MacDeck with 65 villagers, and how's Hyder's boom doing? Hyder has 61, so MacDeck is actually out-booming Hyder, and he's managed to destroy this mangonel here. So Hyder coming back still does not have sanctity yet, but he has it queued up, so he's planning on it. He's just trying to keep MacDeck from doing too much damage to this town center. But MacDeck really wants this town center dead. He's invested he's invested at least 2 mangonels. He's lost at least 1 mangonel. Hyder hopping out and speaking a few words of pacifism to the mangonels and hopping back in when it looks like he's in danger. But once sanctity comes in, it will be no problem for him. So Hyder could actually consider maybe Imperial Age. He could get Imperial Age, build a castle, make some trebuchets, cut his way through here, do the whole monk treb push. I would love to see that, but these players are just so afraid of monks in my league. Like, I have not seen a proper smush in a long time. Maybe ever in Alchemy League. This is the closest thing to a smush I've ever seen in Alchemy League. Cookie Pirate says, I'd be the one to put ships between the rings. Oh, I know you would. You'd have all kinds of fire ships running through here. Imagine Cannon Galleon or Dromon, though. That would be pretty annoying. Woolaloo. Oh, and he gets the conversion. Using it to take out a mangonel, and now this other mangonel is pretty much toast. Even if he gets a direct hit, he will not kill the monks. But Hyder, for some reason, garrisoned him anyway. So, some knights being made by Hyder. Hyder wants to go Saracen Knights as a raiding unit, which I think is an interesting choice. Hyder has significantly more score than MacDeck. I believe it is because of Navy. So MacDeck is just kind of boomed here. And Hyder's sort of allowed it to happen. They've just been squabbling over this very thin patch of reeds. Hyder going to add another town center here. He's going to have some knights galloping around too. MacDeck, I mean, do you really want to make knights long-term against the Hindustanis? No, they have fantastic camels. And look at all these stables that MacDeck is building. I wouldn't be surprised if MacDeck were on his way up to the... No! MacDeck is just gonna... He's on his way up to mass-producing camels. And MacDeck is building... I love this. He's building a castle here. So, well, good luck converting the castle with redemption monks. That's not going to work out so well. No monks in Alchemy League because alchemy is heretical, so it scares off the holy ones. Maybe. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe we just need more walled maps so people feel more comfortable with it. But I think maps like this are a good example, right? Because there's like a very small area, this area, that you really care about. You start off with a lot there. And if you can clear your opponent out of map control here, you can do serious damage to them. And that's where monks excel, is map control. They're very good at securing a small area of the map. They're not fast. You know, they can't really get around very well, but they're very good at controlling the small portion of the map that they can occupy. Lordek, not enough camels here. Hyder beating the camels with just outnumbers and raw statistics. So he's got to pull back a little bit and regroup. Hyder's done this castle drop just to give himself a forward position here. And we will probably see Lordek sell some stone, sell some wood, and then buy some food and click up, I would imagine. Nope, he's going to make more camels. Alright. I don't understand that personally myself, but he really feels that he needs these camels here. Looks like he was taking some gold, but Hyder interfered with that, so Lordek is going to take it here instead, where it's a little bit further away from the coast, but he's got to remember to build his mine. Okay, he's going up to the Imperial Age now, so this is good. This is what Lordek needs. Hyder is already on his way up to the Imperial Age, of course, those Saracens. Is he making Mamelukes? No, he is not. Not yet. Maybe he will. I don't know who wins, who's more cost-effective, Mamelukes or camels. I think there's a lot of it depends. So, but I don't think Hyder is going to go Mamelukes. He seems pretty heavily invested in camels. Keeps making them. Although he's building these archery ranges forward, so what's the deal with that? Oh, he's going crossbowman. So he's doing a technology switch into Arbalister, actually, Hyder is. He's even getting the armor upgrade for them, which I think is pretty smart. Now, does Lordek know about these ranges? I don't think he does. No, he has not scouted them. And I think that's a little bit more so luck on Hyder's part. I mean, why not build the ranges back here and like wall to the edge or something, so that your opponent will not scout them. But right now, all that Lordek has to do is just wander over here with some camels, maybe try to take a fight. Look at all these camels from Lordek too. He's really heavily invested in camels here. He wants to beat the Saracens at camels, but the Saracens aren't going camels. The Saracens are going archers, and he doesn't know it yet. Now see, if Hyder had built his ranges back here, he could pull these camels back all the way to the castle. Although, yeah, he just went directly to the castle, and Lordek chooses not to follow. So Lordek still doesn't know about this, but I still think that's a little bit luck. Alright, so Lordek has reached the Imperial Age. Hyder has reached the Imperial Age. Lordek is happily going through and getting the camel upgrades, because he's Hindustanis and they do well at camels. And he thinks that his opponent is going camels, but he knows he has more camels. So he's feeling like he's in a pretty good position. But little does he know that Hyder is going Arbalister. And this is really going to be quite unfortunate for him. So he's just starting to realize now, he's like, oh, snap, my opponent's gone. Saracen archers. And these Saracen archers, they do bonus damage to buildings too, so he does not have a lot of time to react. You can see that this siege workshop, I mean, its percentage construction is going up, but, like, how long is it going to stay up? Hyder has built himself a trebuchet here. Archers are not necessarily a counter to camels, but they are much stronger against camels than they are against other cavalry, because camels just lack the pierce armor. Hyder able to micro these camels down by doing attack and retreat with them, and Lordek has to pull back. I don't know what the play is for Lordek now. He should not have followed these Arbalisters. He doesn't have the armor yet. He's getting it now. The armor will help, but it's not the solution, especially because his opponent has chemistry and bracer here. These camels are just not going to hold up against the archers. Lordek getting very bad value from his camels, unfortunately for Lordek. Kind of caught off guard here, and has not really responded to the Arbalisters except to make more camels. So for that reason, although Lordek is doing a raid here, which is pretty powerful. He's got a few camels, some light cav, being annoying here. It's not going to take map control. And we can also see that did Hyder get all the relics? Maybe that's what's going on. Hyder got all the relics and Lordek is worried. No, Hyder only got one relic, so, you know, Lordek has time. But here come the Arbalisters, and Lordek still does not have an answer to it. And Hyder getting even Pikemen as well. So Lordek is maybe going to mass up some Light Cav to deal with these Arbalisters. These Arbalisters are just kind of slowly marching forward. I'm actually surprised that they're not taking down these houses faster, if you ask me. Hyder has also gotten Heavy Camel Rider, just for good measure. And Lordek is getting the attack upgrade, and he's making more of these Light Cav. The Trebuchets are working on Lordek's original town center here. Archers microing back in a very annoying manner. Lordek deleting his palisades to try to get a better surround, but these cavalry units just cannot engage. What do Hindustanis do against mass Arbalisters like this? I don't think they have a lot of good options. I mean, Hussar are a better choice, because if we look, the light cavalry line inherently has 2 base pierce armor, whereas the camel line inherently has 0. So that means that right off the bat, camels will take 2 more damage, assuming all other things being equal about the archers that are shooting at them. Camels will take 2 extra damage from archers relative to light cav, and that's not counting other statistics, you know, and cost and such. So it's really hard, I think, to fight well upgraded archers like these with camels. You can fight poorly upgraded archers with camels, or, you know, archers that are sort of in lower numbers. But when the archers are fully developed and you've got a competent opponent that can micro them, you're really, even if it's cost effective, you're really struggling. So he just needs a different unit. Camels are not the answer against a lot of archers like this, especially now that Hyder is starting to trickle out these pikemen. Ghulam's counter arbs. That's a good thought, Jasuni. Ghulam's. He does have a castle here. And he could go down the infantry route. I was just thinking, you know, Hindustanis, they gotta have an answer to archers somehow, because their camels are gonna get melted. But Ghulams do counter arbs. They have a sort of pass-through attack. It comes up and they hit an archer, and like it damages the archers next to him and behind him. And they have additional pierce armor, and they're cheaper. And they're about the same speed as camels too, I think. So Lordek going for maybe a Treb snipe here to try to buy himself some time, but you know, I don't know if he's going to get this one. No, he barely manages to not get that one trebuchet. He might be able to destroy it with counter trebuchet fire here. He's been rebooming. He's built all kinds of stuff up in here, and he's used his mobility to deny Hyder's expansion up in this area. But Hyder can choose to be anywhere on the map that he wants to be. He can't be there all at the same time, but he can choose to be anywhere he wants. And Lordek just can't be there. He just can't stop these archers. I like how this flaming trebuchet is rolling forward on 10 HP. His Hyder has not bothered repairing it. So now he's got Hussar here. He's massing up the Hussar. They have 95 hit points. They have 6 pierce armor instead of the 4 for the heavy camel rider. So these things have 6+4 attack. So we figure if pierce armor for Hussars is 6, the Arbalisters are dealing 4 damage per hit to each Hussar. But if pierce armor is only 4, then they're dealing 6 damage per hit. So they're dealing 50% more damage. So in other words, 2 Arbalisters could deal the same amount of damage as 3 Arbalisters, depending on whether or not they're fighting winged Hussar or whether or not they're fighting camel riders. Really, this winged Hussar is what needs its own regional skin. I know that they're doing an update, actually a very major update, for Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, and there are a lot of really cool changes planned. And one of the cool changes could be to give these Hussars their own unique skin. And yeah, MacDeck only managing to destroy a couple trebuchets and a few archers with that, losing his whole army, has to call the GG. Just did not have the ability to respond to these arbalisters here. They saw them too late and they messed with his plan, and he was hoping maybe if he doubled down on the cavalry that he would be able to buy himself enough time to switch into something more effective, but Hyder just punishing him too hard with that technology switch. So a very clever technology switch from Hyder, and he's able to take the game from MacDeck. So let's take a look at the statistics. "229 kills for Hyder, 175 deaths." I'm actually surprised that it's this favorable to MacDeck. I thought that Hyder's KD would have been much higher because he had all these arbalisters he was microing. Raised 65 buildings and lost only 1. Converted 5 units, and they were probably all mangonels. Largest army of 105 to 50. Economy, MacDeck with the larger economy, but Hyder collecting more gold, which makes sense because he built more gold-intensive units. Technology, Hyder winning across the board there. Hyder collecting 1 relic and building 3 castles. Villager high of 134. We can see MacDeck's slow demise. But toward the end of the, as both players got to Imperial Age, it was pretty neck and neck. It was pretty even, with MacDeck actually on the rise. But this tech switch is really what occurred right here, and that's what spelled doom for MacDeck. So now we're going to look at Game 2, which is Cataclysm. And this map has been among the more rare maps that we've seen in Alchemy League. Not played very often. That's okay, though. This is an overhauled version. Looks like Hyder is building a dock immediately. He's playing as the gray Malians, and MacDeck is playing as the red Romans. We've seen MacDeck play, I believe, as Romans before. He likes them. Game music and background music are both playing, and they clash. That's good to know. I think I originally set this up with... let me change that, because I think I originally set it up with Capture Age, which doesn't have the game music, and so we can turn the game music off, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oops. So basically, this was in Alchemy League Season 1. Made some updates for Alchemy League Season 5. We elevated this. We added a few more resources out there. Still haven't seen anybody build their town center here, which is too bad, but it makes sense. You want to travel inland and build your town center somewhere on these woodlines. Looks like we got the temperate version of this map with the oak forest trees. And yeah, so what's happened here? Well, this moon has fallen in on its planet. So there's all kinds of bonus gold and stone on this moon. And then there's a destroyed city where the moon fell. And all the relics are in this DLC cracked area. And then the rest of this has a lot of neutral wood and food. So most of the gold and stone are over here. You start with the transport ship, of course, to move across. And these players are exploring. Let's take a look at their civilizations and perform an analysis on them. I like these civilization choices. These, more so Hyder than MacDeck. I mean, Hyder could be going... It's like they're looking around with the Photon Man for some spare geese. I believe that since this is a nomad map, yeah, the Photon Man has 130 HP, and he's got terrible line of sight. So, but he needs that HP, because otherwise he'll die to a town center because he can't see anything. So he could run right into a town center and get wrecked. Let's talk about this. So unique units are quite possible. I don't really see legionaries very often. I don't think that legionaries are a popular, like, unique unit Castle Age type play. I mean, maybe MacDeck will do it, but I think he likes his infantry crawl in Imperial Age as the Romans. Hyder, we could see like a lot of Gebetos going around raiding things. Both civilizations have a decent infantry push in Feudal Age if they choose to go that route. Given that this is more of a nomad style map, we generally see fast castle over like Feudal Age and towers, unless you can do a lot of damage with the towers. But that's You know, that's kind of the thing about Nomad, is because there's so much fish involved, you don't really see a lot of feudal action, unfortunately. MacDeck bringing in a boar here. He shoots it with the town center to weaken it, and then finishes it with villagers. I think MacDeck actually has decent knowledge about boars, too. He knows where quite a few are. Yeah, he brought in this boar. He's got 2 more boars over here, and he sees another boar here, so he knows of 4 boar nearby. So he actually could get up to the feudal age pretty quickly, I think. And that could be helpful for him. I don't think he'll do it, though. I think that they will both go fast castle. As to what they'll do after that, can't say. They actually might pressure each other's fish. They wanted to do that the first game. Let's see, Hyder has made 2 fishing ships. Really? Is that it? Is Hyder just making 2 fishing ships? No, he is making a 3rd fishing ship. And MacDeck is on 3 fishing ships, and he's building a 4th fishing ship. The Romans work a little bit faster. What's this? They're both kind of just scouting the same. I wonder if they put their transport ship on auto scout. No, that's not possible. I don't think you can give the transport ship auto scout. I mean, maybe you can, but then all transport ships would have it, and that would be weird. So let's see, MacDeck. Is he making any more fish? Yeah, he is making another fish. Hyder's got 3 fishing ships. Let's check and see if Hyder's making more fishing ships. He is. So it's not looking good, boys. It's looking like a fast castle type thing. I mean, maybe, you know, all the relics are kind of in one spot. You could argue, like, fast castle with monks, monk and siege, but neither of them really have the right civ for it. Malians are okay for monastery, but I think Romans are missing some important technologies. Kind of at random, too. Which is weird, because the Roman pantheon is literally the name of our map pool. We've got Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, etc. So you would think that Romans in Age of Empires would have actually pretty good monks, because we're literally celebrating their mythology with our maps. But I guess not. I guess the devs were like, nah, we don't want Romans having good monks. That would be too good. You know, that would make them far too versatile. We want them to just have infantry crawls with scorpions. So, whatever. Infantry and scorpions sexier than monks, apparently. So, Hyder is making the decision to come out here and colonize this gold. I think this is important, because Hyder, he's not going on this gold. He's going on this gold out here. Which is an interesting choice. So this is basically telling us that Hyder does not believe that his opponent is going feudal age aggression. Because if Hyder believed that his opponent was going to make feudal age units, he would build a mining camp in a location that was easier to defend. But that is not the case. He is building one that's hard to defend. And he's building one that maybe would be less likely to be castle dropped. You know, if I thought that my opponent were going castle age and intended to build a castle and even drop it on me, I would build on this mining camp. I would send my gold miners here and take this gold instead of here. This is the obvious castle drop location. So Hyder kind of coming over here and giving himself, spreading out his economy and giving himself a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more map presence scattered across the map. We can see, in fact, that Hyder's also walling across, too. Now, it could also be that Hyder's planning on being more aggressive in feudal age on water, and he thinks maybe it will delay his castle age, and so that's why he's being defensive, is because he believes his opponent's going to get up first. We saw that Hyder's built another dock. Hyder's making a galley. He's actually making 2 galleys. And let's see what MacDeck does. So MacDeck is feudal age himself, and he has built another dock, and he's basically doing the same build that Hyder is doing. So going double galley. You guys can see that they're both GDR. They're both from the same clan. They might even be practicing strategies with each other. So, I mean, it makes sense that they have a lot of the same builds and a lot of the same plans on these maps. But if I'm MacDeck, you know, do I necessarily want to try to copy what Hyder's going to do? You know, he's a higher ELO player. He's probably just going to do the same thing, but a little bit better. I would want to do a strategy that would be different, unique, you know, something that he's not really sure exactly how to counter, because right now if they do the same thing, all that Hyder has to do is just do it better in order to win. So unfortunately for Hyder, MacDeck is going to micro this transport ship down, and I believe that that means that Hyder's got a stranded villager on his starting island now. Let's take a look. Yeah, there it is. So this guy is stuck here, and he can't get away, so now Hyder has to win water, otherwise he'll lose that man, that lone shore fisherman. So where's Hyder's navy? Surely it's around here somewhere. Hyder, okay, Hyder's with his photon man here. I don't think, yeah, MacDeck doesn't know about that photon man, and I don't think that Hyder knows that MacDeck is taking gold there. He knows that there is gold there, and this would be a logical guess as to where MacDeck was taking gold. And Hyder, all Hyder has to do is walk over here a little bit, make a few tiles, and just see whether or not MacDeck is taking gold here. The other location that MacDeck could be is down here, taking gold, but so if Hyder comes here and he sees that MacDeck is not here, he'll probably assume that MacDeck is taking the gold down here. But he's not that curious right now, because he doesn't really have anything to pressure with at the time, and it looks like Hyder wants to finish this wall off here, and he's making galleys from 3 docks. Actually, he's built a 3rd dock. What? Where? So there's 1 dock there, 1 dock there, and 1 dock there. Okay, so Hyder has built a dock on this moon. So Hyder with 3 docks, and MacDeck, does MacDeck have 3 docks as well? I think MacDeck only has 2 docks. Yeah, MacDeck with the 2 docks here. Remember that Romans actually do this a little bit better. Romans have that additional range. Looks like 5+1, 6+1, 0+6. Oh, there we go. So they got the additional armor on their galleys. That's what it is, and it basically counters out the attack bonus that you get from fletching. So fletching increases the amount of damage that your galleys normally do, but against Romans, it just makes it so that your galleys do attack as though they didn't have fletching. Which kind of sucks a little bit. So MacDeck, for this reason, will probably be able to get away with 2 docks. So that's kind of the difference there. And maybe MacDeck's plan is to go the 2 docks to get Castle Age first, because Hyder has to invest more resources into keeping up with MacDeck in terms of the galley war. And then MacDeck comes over here and tries to take these resources. We see that, or tries to deny these resources with a castle drop. We've seen that Hyder's paranoid about that castle drop. He's walled all of this in. He sent his villagers out here to take gold instead, and he built an outpost here. So Hyder believes that MacDeck is going to come over here and drop a castle on him. Hyder on his way up to the Castle Age, but MacDeck is on his way up as well, and MacDeck will actually be up first, but he won't be up so much faster than Hyder, just only slightly faster. Okay, so there are the villagers on stone for MacDeck. And so MacDeck probably go. Yeah, okay. All right, he's sending more villagers to stone, so he is definitely committed to a castle. He wants a castle soon when he gets to Castle Age. He doesn't want to screw around waiting for that castle to show up. Now, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3... 4 relics. So, you know, relic victory is a possibility on this map. Maybe Hyder goes relics instead. You know, and maybe if Hyder's lucky, he can get all the relics off on this. He can win water and get all the relics off on his starting island. So then it doesn't matter what MacDeck does. Even if he's dominating the cataclysmic event, Hyder could still win. So that's a possible win condition for Hyder, because we've seen MacDeck's legionary build with Romans, and it's pretty powerful. I think we've seen MacDeck do this 2 dock galleys, holding off whatever Hyder's up to. We've seen him do all that before, and he does it well. Hyder Castle Age, so MacDeck gonna get away. MacDeck Castle Age 2 though, and he's getting War Galley as well. It's coming in at this dock here, and I think it will be up soon. He'll be equipped with War Galley quite soon. Oh, actually, no. MacDeck is not going castle. So, Hyder thought that MacDeck would castle drop in, but MacDeck is just building a lot of town centers. And the plan for MacDeck is... boom. Mega boom. make Roman infantry. He's beaten Hyder that way before. Why not do it again? That's the plan. So these galleys are here just to buy himself enough time to get a good boom with a nice head start with these fishing ships. But you know, ultimately he doesn't want to fight this long term. You can see that he's not making any more ships. He just got the war galley upgrade to kind of keep up. I'm wondering if MacDeck could try to sail around and raid Hyder's ships. But then Hyder would just come and raid his ships. It's not like Mars. It's a little bit more complex. Or maybe MacDeck could send maybe just a couple of ships up this way. But here he is. He just wants to boom. So MacDeck is at 38 villagers. And Hyder's building himself a castle. So Hyder's at 37 villagers, actually. And they're having a galley fight. It looks like Hyder is winning this galley fight a little bit more decisively, though. Slightly better galley micro, perhaps. MacDeck is trying to get away with investing very little in galleys. But I do think Hyder is going to overpower him here. So Hyder has built this castle, and let's see if he's making any Gabedo from it. Yeah, it looks like he is making some Gabedos. So this will give him some map control. MacDeck has nothing. MacDeck does not have any military on land at all. I don't think he wants military on land. He hasn't built anything. Hyder's still loitering back here with his Photon Man. So I think MacDeck is going to be in for a rude awakening by these Gabedos here. Let's see what MacDeck knows, actually. So MacDeck gonna build himself a castle now that he has 3 town centers up. This castle will help secure this area. I mean, he could still have Gabedos around the edge of his town raiding him, which would be pretty annoying. This area of the map is walled off, but guys, remember that Gabedos do melee damage, and so palisade walls are not going to last for very long. But at least he'll be able to make some legionaries from the castle. So Hyder continuing to make Gabedos. What do you do against Gabedos if you're Romans? Well, you could make a few monks, I think. Monks should have some decent range. Meanwhile, MacDeck is up to 54 villagers. Let's see how many villagers Hyder has. Hyder's up to 44 villagers. So Hyder just has this town center, and I think he's just maybe fish booming. No, it doesn't look like he's building any more fishing ships, actually. He could fish boom a little bit. I mean, he's won water. He's over here, and he's ravaged MacDeck's fishing ships. So at this point, you know, and he could destroy all of these houses too, which would be pretty annoying. But most of MacDeck's presence is too far inland for these ships to threaten them. But yep, sure enough, here are the Gabedos. They tear through the palisades easily enough, but so MacDeck's going to have to watch out for this. You know, he builds another farm over here. He's built a monastery to convert Gabedos. That's probably what I would do as well. The Gabedos do not have great range. They've got 5 range, and town centers have 6. So what these Gabedos will do is they'll allow Hyder to collect relics. So Hyder's getting 1 relic. He's going to get another relic. And I actually think he could get all the relics here pretty easily. Doesn't look like MacDeck is going to contest it at all. That's true, Jasuni. Mass Scorpions would be pretty effective against Gabedos. That's a good thought. Maybe Hyder is expecting this, and that's why he's building a siege workshop of his own, so that he can make mangonels as a counter to the Scorpions that he'll see. So MacDeck at 53 villagers, or sorry, no, that's Hyder at 53 villagers. MacDeck at 68. So MacDeck very good at booming. And he's got all of these town centers, and he wants the legionary span. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. He's done it before. It's worked for him. Hyder collecting the relic. Now, let's see what Hyder does with this last relic. I think that Hyder should build his monastery on this island for safekeeping. He knows that he's won water. And so if his opponent wanted to come over here and deny a relic victory, his opponent would have to get back on water. And that could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Oh! Look at this. So MacDeck is going to come and try to snag this relic and prevent Hyder from getting the relic victory. And this is a big deal. Hyder was over here raiding. And if Hyder had been able to pick up this relic, it could have been a different situation. So MacDeck is going to get this relic and prevent Hyder from winning a relic victory. So Hyder still did well. He still got at least 3 relics. But he did not get all of the relics. He's got 4 relics. Okay. And MacDeck got another relic. So Hyder cannot win a relic victory now at this point. So he's going to focus on being annoying and do damage over here instead. So he's got a couple mangonels and he's got some Gabetos. MacDeck has built some Centurions. I don't know how great Centurions are against Gabetos. I would imagine not very good. I would think that the Gabetos would micro and just throw their swords at the Centurions and just micro them down, and Centurions are very expensive. MacDeck's stonewalling this off, and he's actually building a castle here too. This is a dangerous castle. It seems like this castle would be very easy to deny for Hyder. Maybe not though, because he'd kind of have to walk in this town center in range of this town center in order to try to deny this castle. I see a bunch of villagers coming up this way. I'm wondering if Hyder is going to drop a castle of his own. I don't think so though. And yeah, these Centurions are just here to scare the mangonels away. And yeah, Hyder wants to do a castle drop here. Does Hyder not know about this castle? No, he does not. Oh boy, that's awkward. So this castle firing upon Hyder's construction villagers. He can still build. MacDeck is going to try to close this off. He does not want Hyder getting in here raiding him. Hyder sending the ships around to try to deny walling as well, but the wall is already built as far as the ships are concerned. So now MacDeck needs petards or something. So MacDeck actually needs Imperial Age. I think that would really do him the most good. If he had range upgrades for the castle... Oh, he does actually. So even with the range upgrades, he can't prevent this castle from going up. But once he has a mass of Centurions, they would work more like Cavaliers. That's true. The Centurions are very individually powerful. I mean, look at all of this health right here. This is crazy. And they've got lots of attack too. Just a very expensive but powerful unit. And look at this. This is super annoying for MacDeck to deal with. He's got some knights, he's got some Centurions, and now he's going to come in and try to fight these Gabetos, but they're ships, and that's super annoying. Yeah, he needs Scorpions to deal with this. But there's too many Mangonels, so maybe he just dives the Mangonels to kill the Mangonels, and now he can make Scorpions. That's probably that's probably his plan. So Hyder on his way up to the Imperial Age, and MacDeck has not clicked up yet. MacDeck has invested too much in Knights and Armor and Centurions, and he's built the Siege Workshop now. MacDeck with 99 villagers. How many villagers does Hyder have? Hyder has 86. So MacDeck's boom is stronger, but MacDeck has also been spending more on Castle Age military than Hyder has, I think. So this castle is intended to protect these farms in the back. Hyder's going to come over here and see if he can snipe some Centurions. There is one Scorpion here. Scorpion getting a few hits off on these Gabetos. Yeah, look at these very damaging raids. Let's see where MacDeck is at villager count. Hyder's at 92 and MacDeck is at 97. So MacDeck is still making villagers and still trying to keep ahead, but dang, you know, Hyder is being super annoying, getting into the back of his base with these raiding Gabetos. Hyder Imperial Age now. MacDeck knows he needs to click up. He's probably going to cancel a knight and click up. That's what I would do. Try to get up as soon as he can. But he doesn't really have good gold access, MacDeck. Where's he taking gold? He's taking gold right here. And Hyder is building a castle on top of that. And MacDeck doesn't know. He doesn't know. Oh, he knows now. He's withdrawing. He's getting Imperial Age. But MacDeck has not taken the time or effort to secure gold, and I think it's going to bite him on this map. There's some gold up here, but Hyder has a castle on top of that gold. So he's instead going to stonewall this while Hyder is not paying attention. Hyder building a castle On this wood line as well, MacDeck cannot take wood there. So he really can only take wood at this wood line. Hyder has a trebuchet working on this castle. And I think MacDeck is not long for the rest of this game. I think Hyder's going to take this set. Hyder adapting to MacDeck's Roman boom from the last time that they played, showing that he has figured out a way to counter the strategy or play as, when playing as a non-Roman civilization. So, MacDeck getting ballistics. I believe that Roman Scorpions benefit from ballistics or something like that. They've got some kind of team bonus for it. Let's see. I don't see it here. I don't really understand the ballistics then, if that's the case. Scorpion line minimum range reduced. That's cool. But that doesn't really help here. Another castle coming up for Hyder. Hyder just building castles everywhere. He's really mining out this moon, taking all of these resources. MacDeck did not contest it. So Hyder attempting to quick wall this, but MacDeck's cavalry slipping in behind that gate, and he's going to try to deny this castle, but it goes up anyway, and he loses his own castle. He only has this one castle in the back now, but MacDeck fighting on. He has nothing on gold, so he has to sell resources to get gold. Jasuni says, sometime back, ballistics affecting scorpions went from being a Roman bonus to applying generally. Ah, okay. Thank you for clarifying. So what do you do if you're MacDeck now? I mean, he's got some scorpions. He's got 67 villagers. He's got an ever-dwindling portion of the map. I don't know. He's trying to get some trebuchets out to see if he can buy himself some space. Maybe where do you push? I guess is what I'm asking. Probably you want to push up here. This is the most logical place to push. He does have a trebuchet working here. And Hyder can't really stop these trebuchets, so... But what Hyder needs to do is Hyder needs to get cannons, and then I think it's over. Cannons would really seal the deal. Because these scorpions can at least keep the Gabetos away from his trebuchets, and the trebuchets can push back enemy castles. But once Hyder gets cannons, bombard cannons, they'll just flatten these scorpions, they'll flatten trebuchets, they'll flatten everything. Romans are very vulnerable to gunpowder. See what Hyder is doing here. He's going into light cabs, which is kind of a weird choice. I feel like light cav are not really going to be much more effective against this massive scorpions. But in Hyder's defense, I guess he may not know the extent to which these scorpions exist. Oh boy, we're going to see a big juicy scorpion shot. Oh! Ouch! That is painful. Just like 20 Gabetos just running to their deaths right there. But now Hyder should have an idea of how many scorpions his opponent has. Hyder has all the gold he could ever want, though, and stone, really. And he's got these light cabs, and now he's going to raid this farmland from his opponent. And the scorpions can't be everywhere. They're up here keeping these trebuchets safe, and they're keeping these villagers safe. And, you know, to be fair to MacDeck, he has done a lot of damage with these trebuchets. He's destroyed, like, at least 2 castles, maybe 3. But these light cab are really hurting his economy. Hyder's up to 121 villagers. MacDeck is down to 44 villagers. But I think it's time for Hyder to just get chemistry and, you know, just end it. Yeah, see, these scorpions are going to be very effective at just destroying light cav. MacDeck wants to go around and just break down all the castles. And we can see that Hyder's got chemistry queued up. So Hyder knows. I can't win yet. There's too many scorpions for me to spam light cav and expect to win. I need a counter unit. So Hyder's going to prepare the cannons. I think that actually MacDeck will... Oh, wait a second. Did Hyder take MacDeck's relic? Yes, he did. There's the monk with the relic right now. So Hyder garrisoning the relic. All the relics have been captured. So Hyder just needs to hold the relics for 200 years. Somehow MacDeck making a comeback with these scorpions because Hyder doesn't have cannons yet. That will change soon. MacDeck will need cavalry to snipe the cannons. But I think that could be quite challenging to pull off. He's very strapped for resources. He only has 53 villagers. His economy has been hit quite hard. He's gonna attack this trebuchet with the scorpions. The scorpions are not very good at attacking trebuchets, though. And these light cav are now going to use this opportunity to sneak up into his base. And this trebuchet has killed like 4 or 5 free scorpions. And these light cav are all over MacDeck's woodline. He's got to pull his scorpions back to deal with them. They are only scorpions, too. They're not elite scorpions. Just to give you an idea of how strapped for cash MacDeck is. And I think Hyder wants this around now. Finally gets it. And MacDeck calls the GG. So GG, well played indeed. MacDeck with a little bit of a comeback, but Hyder eventually overpowering him. 211 kills to 119 deaths. In terms of economy, Hyder with more food and stone and gold. MacDeck with more wood. Technology, MacDeck faster to the Castle Age, Hyder faster to Feudal and Imperial. And society, Hyder eventually getting all 5 relics, building 8 castles, having over 2,000 relic gold, and a villager high of 136. So GG, well played. Hyder responding well to MacDeck's Roman strategy that was used last time. Alright, so yeah, GG's. Really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. We're running out of Alchemy League Season 5 to cast. I'm looking very forward to Alchemy League Season 6. It's an open map contest for Alchemy League Season 6. We've got some different people having submitted some different concepts. Hopefully we can get the tough guys in our community to evaluate those maps, and we can move them on to the next stage, which is group voting. So really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'm looking forward to bringing you more content soon. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you later.